Hey everybody, welcome to another review. So today I decided to change things up a little bit. As you know, I like to go through different things and show off the different pieces of my collection to kind of give you the idea that I don't collect just one line. I'm kind of an eclectic collector, I guess. And I guess that's good maybe because it gives you a lot of variety. You're not just basically getting Predator video after Predator video or Iron Man video after Iron Man video. But I guess it could be bad in a sense, like if you only like one part of my collection, then the stuff that doesn't hold your interest sort of gets a little bit boring. So I don't know, maybe in the future after I make more of these, I'll actually separate them into lists or something. So you can go to the list part of YouTube and just click on the stuff that you are interested in. So I'm going to start the roller moving, and then while it's turning, you get a chance to see each of the busts. I can talk a little bit about what these are. So these are custom resin busts built and painted by paint masters. They are, I believe, 6th scale. You can see my fingers sort of against the base, so you have an idea of how big they are. So they're not huge, they're small, but they're very beautiful. They come in unpainted, resin kits, and they have to find somebody, or if you have the skill yourself, you have to clean them up, sand them, fill in the lines, do all of that, and then you have to paint them. So each of these are supposed to represent an aspect of a season. We have summer and winter and spring and fall, and then we have a 5th season that for whatever reason the producer decided to make. She doesn't quite fit in, but I guess you could call her the season of celebration or Mardi Gras or whatever. So this one here is winter. You can tell by sort of the base as well as her cloak. She's the white cloak. And then this one is autumn or fall. Again, the base gives you a hint of what goddess or spirit she is. This one, I believe I think this one is summer, actually, right over here. And then this one is spring. Okay. And this one with all the masks that you would normally see on Mardi Gras. This one is the 5th season of, I guess, celebration, the Mardi Gras bust. So all 5 were produced by the same person. I think that individual is in Europe. And it took many years to get all of them. They're all sculpted by a gentleman named Roberto von Beer, who, if you remember from my previous video work, my previous review, did a lot of the fairy tale fantasies that were the resin kits. So the same guy sculpted these. He did a fantastic job. He did it little by little over many years. And I commissioned a wonderful painter named Jim Capone to paint them up. And this guy is very, very busy. He's kind of quite sought after by a lot of producers to paint their kits, because it's the paint job that sells the kit, correct? You're not going to make a lot of money just showing a bunch of gray or white resin parts that aren't even put together. But someone like Jim Capone paints them, and you see something like this, and of course that's what sells the kit. So he's very sought after. He does wonderful paint jobs. So it's really hard for him to actually get him to do any personal projects. He's gotten busier and busier. I keep trying, keep failing, and I'm just gonna keep on trying. Hopefully one day I can get him to do another project for me, because he's an amazing painter. But luckily for this set, he himself liked the idea of the 4 seasons, and so he wanted to paint them for himself. And so we kind of struck a deal where he would just kind of paint them in duplicate, and that's how I got him to do all of the 4 seasons. He drew the line at the 5th season because he didn't really know where that would fit in. He was getting busier, so he didn't want to do the 5th one. it would have been nice to kind of have him do the entire line just for consistency's sake. But I handed the project off to John Allred, who's another phenomenal, paint master. And he took a look at the existing work, and I think he did a fantastic job matching everything and also bringing his own unique perspective to the piece, which is right here. And this one is very, very challenging because it got really busy. Maybe that's another reason that Jim wasn't as enthusiastic about it. He may not have liked it because around the base, there's no less than 8 different masks. So John had to paint all the masks. And then on top of that, he had to figure out a way to display them in a reasonable fashion and also a way to put them across the face. And so he came up with a really ingenious way of doing that. I have this on a rotating Lazy Susan. It's motorized, powered by some D batteries, so excuse the noise. But I do find that really nice because it gets to sort of slowly turn around. You get to see the back and the front of all of the ladies while I talk and describe sort of what things are about. And it goes real slow, and I don't have to worry about turning them constantly while I talk. So here again, you can see over at the shoulder, there's a little hole there. Hopefully you can see that. And that hole is where all these little flexible black piping goes in, and then you can put it right over her face without scratching it. So here's Jim Capone's paint job. You can see very, very nice detail here. Beautiful paint. She's cloaked all in white. There's even a little bit of like flecks of snow on it. Here's the freckles on Autumn. She reminds me of Rapunzel just because of her long hair and the beautiful braids and the roses entwined in the braids in the back. Over here is Summer with all the flowers. And then here, of course, is Spring. So all very, very beautiful in their own right. Hopefully from the back, you can see some of the detail as they're rotating. So I'll get a view from above. You can appreciate that. You can see them rotating from above. And then you can take a look at the backs right here. Very, very intricate paint jobs. There's that. And so, it took a couple years to get all of these both produced and then sent to Jim and have them painted, and then sent to John, have him painted. So it's quite, a labor of love and just patience waiting for all of that. And I think it was definitely worth the wait. So there they are, the 4 seasons, and I guess the spirit of Mardi Gras is what I've come up with, or the 5th season. They're beautifully sculpted, very, very, pretty, and then of course painted immaculately. So I'm really, really happy to have all 5 of these. And they're not the most popular, pieces. They're not based off of Star Wars or horror or Marvel or DC, and you'll come to notice that the area of garage kits and statues are dominated by those big licenses: Universal Horror, comic book characters, Star Wars, monsters, etc. But this is kind of what I love about garage kits. Remember, guys, that garage kits started the entire statue industry. Randy Bowen, who did the Bowen 1/6 scale busts and statues way back in the 90s and early 2000s. He started out as a garage kit sculptor, garage kit producer. This is the birthplace of this entire industry. And I still like to go back to that occasion. I still have some really, really cool kits. And again, they're not 36 inches or 40 inches. They're not behemoths. They're not gigantic monsters. They're not Batman or whatever. But they're small and they're intimate. They're very, very beautiful. And also that garage kit scene sort of still captures the magic of the hobby, in the sense that anybody with an idea and passion and some money can hire a sculptor, get their vision turned into a reality, and have it painted. And this is sort of the inspiration for many producers, and this particular one decided to create the seasons in his own mind, and he made it a reality, you know, and I think it's phenomenal. So I still love garage kits for that reason. Every once in a while, I do like to go there, and I do tend to buy very striking artistic pieces, things that really catch my eye, and you know, these are an example of them. So let me begin by just sort of taking them off now, so I can kind of concentrate on each one by one. I'm going to stop it right now. So I guess we'll start with the last one, which is the Mardi Gras one, painted by John Allred. I'll move these ladies aside. So you've seen all of them kind of rotating, and now I'm going to sort of shine a spotlight on each one individually. So let's take a look at her. So first of all, just her face. John put a little beauty spot right over here. Hopefully you can see that. So she's very pretty. I don't know, for some reason she kind of reminds me of like one of Dracula's brides. You know, her hairstyle is kind of very from that era, you know, maybe Renaissance style time period. Certainly the dress is reminiscent of that. You know, maybe from Florence or whatnot. There's some very nice detail work on her jewelry, her necklace. The makeup, lipstick, eye color, all beautiful. Here's the back. Now that she's the center of attention, I can really focus on that. And then again, he drilled very tiny holes, and all around you can get a feel for all the different masks that you can potentially put over her face. I leave it uncovered because you know, I like to see her face. But again, look at all of these wonderful different masks, 8 of them. So the producer, you know, really kind of went the extra mile, and then Roberto did justice to all of that. I mean, there's a lot of different masks. And then John Allred painted all of them. So once again, I talked about John's professionalism before. This guy is just a trooper. You know, just goes and does all of this amazing work. And it's stuff that's pretty laborious, pretty crazy. And again, he never ever turns down that job. He just keeps going. You know, really, really respect him for that. You know, except for that one where he turned down Red Sonja, you know, she devil with a sword, because he was so pleased with the factory paint job that Sideshow did, and it was a wonderful paint job. So that was a lot of integrity to say that as well, you know, and I mentioned that in my review. So just kind of slowly turning her. You can look at all of the detail of the dress and the brocade, and all of the detail on all these different masks. So pretty amazing, different colors, purple and black, laughing and crying, the comedy and tragedy masks, the ones that just cover the eyes, the one with the beak, the one that's like in the Phantom of the Opera, half the face. So pretty awesome. And of course, you know, she's pretty amazing as well. So very, very nice. This is the one that kind of capped off the entire series. I remember emailing the producer and asking him, like, we're not going to keep going with this, right? I mean, you started off with 4 seasons, and this 5th project, while gorgeous, doesn't really make much sense in the context of the project. And he reassured me that, no, this was the very last one. And so far, that's been true. Again, I have no idea how this concept of the 5th season even came about, but for what it's worth, it is amazing. So let's take her aside. We're going to put her here. And then let's talk about, since we're going backwards, this was the last season that now Jim Capone did. And again, taking a look, he decided to make her a little bit darker. Very, very nice effect on the eyes and the face. just sort of backing up, you get an idea of the entire picture here. I think I can actually just turn her manually so you can actually see. And Roberto just did a phenomenal job, a beautiful job sculpting the fabric and how it falls. You can actually see the little tassel right here, all the different folds of the clothes. The base is one of my favorites. Hopefully you can see even a little bit of the sparkle here and here. So he added a little bit of that effect, so it really looks like snow. It really kind of brings home the feel of Christmas in a way. You have some of the mistletoe, the snow-laden branches. So kind of really enjoyed his interpretation. You see the little hint of blue underneath, almost as if it's like maybe water or something like that. And again, she has a touch of green as well. So this is a beautiful representation of the goddess of winter. Here she is. So again, it's always exciting to see a paint job because when you first get the kits, all they look like are just pieces of gray resin. And then they get put together, they get cleaned up, they get painted with all these different layers. And it looks just so beautiful. So it's always very, very exciting to kind of see how these pieces come to life. So that's winter for you. And eventually I will do all of these with flash as well to really light up the details and stuff. So this is autumn. She's actually my favorite of all of them. It's just so striking from all the details of the flowers, in her hair, the detail of her dress, her necklace, the subtle work of the freckles of her face. I mean, Jim really did a magnificent job here with everything. She just really pops, when you see her. Here's some of the, I guess, peaches or whatnot here, the autumn leaves. And then let's turn her around. You can see again the robe sort of flowing around her back. Let's take a look here. Really nice. And then, of course, the hair. This is actually a separate piece that had to be screwed on to avoid breaking. So think about the intricate sculpture, the work that had to go into the sculpture to get all the detail, and then for Jim to paint all of that in. So she has nice, long, flowing hair, all braided up, and there's just flowers throughout it. So again, this particular look just really reminds me of Rapunzel. So this is the goddess of autumn, or the goddess of fall. Wonderful. Here it goes. So I got these two together. I got her, I think, second to last, but I got both summer and spring together. So I think this is actually summer. And I just kind of really also like the fact that each of these seasons are very distinctive, in terms of, just kind of their style, what they look like, the dresses, very, very distinct, very unique styles of each. It goes right to the clothing. So again, the base here is really, really nice. A lot of primary colors that pop. You see the green and the yellow. She's holding a bouquet, a massive bouquet of flowers. She has a strapless dress. You can see sort of the back of that. This is sort of falling off a little bit, leaving her shoulders bare. The anatomy of the back is phenomenal, beautifully done. And you can see sort of the pretty green dress with the yellows accenting it. And of course her face. They all look a little bit different, but they all look like they could be sisters as well. So I think that's pretty cool as well. And each of them, of course, have different hairstyles. So I think that was a really nice touch. And if you look really, really closely, you're not quite sure, are they the same person? Because the dresses are so different, the skin color, the hairstyle, everything. But if you were to isolate it, are they quadruplets? Maybe they're all sisters with the exact same face. it's hard to say, you know. And so again, it just shows you that the paint job matters. You put freckles, you put different skin tones, a different hairstyle, and it could be the same face, but they look so different, you know? Or they could just be sisters. So this is Summer right here. And then last but not least, we have Spring. She's the first in the line. Here she is, right here. Let me maybe angle her up so you can kind of get a chance of seeing her face. This is how she's painted, again, with pinks and greens, all the flowers at the base. And here you can see a lot more of her back, her lower back, the tops of her buttocks. There you go. Very, very nice. This is a separate piece that you actually put on. So, again, just beautiful job with the sculpting of the anatomy as well as the paint. Okay, I'm gonna go back for one more run with the flash on. I'll be right back. Okay, flash is on. Let's see what it shows us. Here's the front. You can see the eyes now. She's got blue eyes. Here's the texture of the dress and the base. All the flowers. And then here's the back. You can actually see the little back dimples right there. Nice effect. All the way up here. And her hair. Okay. And this is Summer. Give her brown eyes. Here's the detail of her dress. Over here, all the flowers. Look, all the little details right over there. Pretty remarkable. All sculpted in and then painted later on by Jim Capone. Let's turn this baby around. Very beautiful. Here is autumn or fall. We've got green eyes for her. Look at all the detail in the dress, the base. Remarkable. And here's my favorite part with the hair. Look at all that. You can see the glare going in and out. This is winter. Let me focus in on the base. You can see a bit more of that detail, a little bit of the sparkling of over the snow here. Really nice. detail of her face. Wow, she's got purple eyes. Let me see how close can I get to this. Yeah, purple eyes. Fascinating. We got blue, green, brown, and purple eyes. She's a brunette. Great job there. Let's back off. Beautiful. And then last but not least, have our Renaissance lady here, the 5th season. Back to blue with a little beauty spot. Her hair. Oh, the little curly locks, all sculpted by Roberto. And then all these different masks under flash lighting. All individually painted by John Allred. So I'm going to put this out of the way here. Get them all sort of lined up. Let's move all the way back. So these are the 5 seasons. From left to right, spring, summer. In the center, the 5th season, the spirit of celebration, the Mardi Gras. And then on the right, we've got winter and autumn or fall. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I know it's a very long video, but there were 5 pieces total, and they're all works of art. And I wanted to give each of them sort of the proper attention they deserve, both with and without flash. I've had this for a while. It's one of my favorite pieces or collection of pieces in my, in my resin kit line. And I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, take care.